Welcome back to art class, everyone. Today we'll be talking about how to do a snowy owl step by step using a Sharpie, chalk pastel, and a white oil pastel. You could also use a white regular construction paper crayon. As some of you know, I love Harry Potter, and I was very sad when Hedwig died. So we're doing this in honor of Hedwig. So first up, we're going to draw it step by step. To start off with, you're going to want to make sure your paper is vertical, up and down. Side to side like this is horizontal. You want to make sure your paper is vertical. And we're going to go ahead and make an oval for the head. All right. Next up, we're going to be making two curved lines for the neck. Starting here, we'll loop around, make a curved line here like that, and a curved line just like so. Okay, next, we're going to carry this line over, kind of make a big C, almost like a moon, and stop there. Doing a very similar thing here, but it's going to look more like a rainbow. Okay. Next, we're going to do the inside of the wing, starting here, and then you're going to loop around and sweep out. Next, we're going to carry this line over and connect those two together. At this point, we can start adding our feathers in. Tiny little U's and V's. If some of them carry out, that's okay too. No bird is alike. They all look different. All right, next we're going to do the tail. Starting at this point here, this is going to be where her feet go eventually. Right now we're doing the tail. Little dot right here. And we're going to sweep down and make another little rainbow or kind of curved line. Just like that. You're going to now sweep up. 1, 2, and I should have that here. Next, we're going to do a smiley face right here, just like that. All right, now we're going to do a sad face. Sort of, more like a frown. Now we're going to loop up and connect that to here. This is the underneath. They have really broad wings and lots of feathers, so that's kind of why we're doing that here. And then you're going to do one more feather here and connect it there. Good. Next, we're going to be doing a curved line once again, starting right here. Next, you're going to do a diagonal line, just like so. All right, curved line, and then connect your diagonal line. If you look at snowy owls have lots of feathers on their feet. So we're going to go in here and make our zigzag lines just like that. That's going to let you know, okay, there's going to be lots of feathers around here once we color it in. We're going to do a little curved line, almost like an oval here. Again, feathers. Then diagonal line again. And close it off. All right, next we're going to be making the talons. Curved line, and then connect. Curved line and connect. At this point, now we're going to go in, and anywhere you know you want to have feathers, you're going to go in and add some more feathers using your oil pastel or white crayon. So I'm going to go here, little U shapes here for the feathers. Color to my eyes and my beak. And then an eye over here. All right. If you look at a picture of a snowy owl, they have some black spots on them. So that's why we brought the Sharpie over here. Once you have kind of laid out where your feathers are going to go, it's time to add your black spots. So anywhere you want to have black spots, we're going to be doing that here. Little V's. And make sure you follow the line. So I'm going to make a line here. It doesn't mean I'm going to make one going that way. You want to make sure they're all together. Some can be thick, some can be small. Just depends on how you feel. I might want to outline that here. Make sure you follow the shape of the feathers. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and speed this video up so we can move on faster. It is time to start coloring in using our chalk pastel. There are 4 easy rules when it comes to using chalk pastel. Number 1, less is more. When you are coloring in with chalk pastel, they are not crayons or color pencils. So you want to be very gentle and use your fingers to blend anytime you have an area you want to get a lot of. For instance, over here, I did some blue. It looks like I colored it in. I did not color it in. All this here was just 2 strokes of blue that I blended with my fingers. So, rule 1, less is more. Rule 2, always keep your chalk pastel clean and have a tissue paper nearby. So here we have a pretty yucky one. These are old. You can see. You don't want to ever let it go that dirty. But all you have to do is take your tissue paper, wipe it down, and it's good as new. These are really old, so probably not the best thing to do that with. But you can see, good as new. All right, rule number 3. Keep your hands clean so you don't get it on your paper, and try not to put your hand like this when you're writing. I tended to do that. You can kind of see where that happened here. I got some black here. It's okay, it looks like the night, but that's why you see some of that black here. It's because I have black on my hand and I smudged it over the paper. So you want to be very careful not to do that. Last, our final rule. Do not ever use black unless you are outlining and doing last minute details. You do not want to use black for the night sky. It will look ugly and muddy and awful. The only time you're going to be using black is you feel comfortable doing this to add just a little bit of texture on your feathers with the black. Otherwise, you do not use it to color. Only draw lines. All right, let's get started. So start off with, we're going to be using some blue to add shadows. In the art world, there is something called value. Say it with me. Value. Value is the lightness and darkness of a color or shape. Artists use value to make something look three-dimensional. Right now, this is a very flat drawing of a bird, a snow owl. If I go in and add some shadows here and there and suggest that there's light, that's going to make it look like it's something I can touch and pick up. It looks more realistic. So once again, value is the lightness and darkness of a color or shape. So my light is coming from over here. So my shadow areas are going to be around right here and maybe a little bit underneath the wing. So you want to keep that in mind when you're doing this. I'm going to do a little bit blue here, a little bit blue there. Notice how I'm just making little lines. I'm not coloring the whole thing blue, just a little bit. Less is more. Underneath the head, there'll be some shadows. I'll be a little bit more sparingly over here because the light's coming here, so this part's going to be a lot lighter. But over here, we're going to have shadow. Same thing here. We're going to have a little bit of shadow, but there's light there, so not as much as over here. All right, underneath here, the light's not coming there, so we're going to have lots of shadow. So we can put a few more lines here, and I'm going to actually add also some purple. Once again, I'm not coloring, I'm just adding lines. A little bit of shadow here. Definitely some shadow on this side because the sun's going this way. But you don't have very little shadow there. All right, shadows in. We're going to just add a little bit of purple now to give it a variety, but not a lot. Only where you have the darkest shadow, which will be on this side here and down here. Maybe a hair right here, not a lot. Okay, I actually want to do some here too. There we go. Just a little bit around the face. Okay, so we got our shadows in. It's now time to blend with the white. At this point, you want to make sure that your white is very clean, and you'll want to have a tissue paper nearby so you can wash it every time you need to. Okay, so we're going to start over here, and I'm just going to again do the same thing, but kind of go over the blue and make straight, kind of feathery lines that suggest feathers. Notice how I'm not coloring like this. I'm just making lines. You don't want to color, you're just making lines. You can see how naturally the blue starts to blend together with the white. When you're doing your face, you want to make sure you follow the shape of the face. So it's very round, so I'm going to kind of start with the eyes and feather out. See, I'm going in, just adding the feathers, shaping the eyes. It's looking so cute. At this point, if you want to add some more shadow, you can. It's not necessary, but it will look good. They're such pretty birds. I wish I had one as a pet. No. If I had any wild animal, I would want to have a fox. Foxes are so pretty. They're like a mixture of a cat and a dog. I would love a pet fox. All right, that face is pretty good. Just blend a little bit more. And we're doing this with the whole body. Once again, small little lines. I'm going to speed up the video so we can finish this earlier. All right, let's speed up. Snowy owls are characterized by white feathers with some black dots throughout. Black is a very hard color to fix when you're using chalk pastel, so we're not going to be using black. Instead, we'll be using purple. So you're going to take your purple, and anywhere you want to have those, well, you did this before with the Sharpies. Kind of see those popping through? You just want to kind of highlight those, and you're going to make a little bit U shapes anywhere you want to have the little dots pop out. You could do this with black also. The issue with black, it turns into a muddy gray color when you use white together with it. So you don't want to do that. Which is why I am using purple instead. Okay, that's pretty much done. Last thing we're going to do is the eyes. You can see how I made a little mess here. That's what you want to try to avoid, but it happens. If that happens, you're just going to have to cover up later. So I'm going to go in now with just a little bit of yellow. Make the eyes pop. Maybe a hair of orange for the beak. Yeah, that pops. All right, now that's all's left. Oh, almost forgot the lines here. Okay. The next step's going to be a little bit tricky. It's easy. The trick is not to touch the owl. You don't want to touch it. So I'm going to be using this beautiful teal here to make swirls in the sky. This is where you'll want to make sure that your chalk pastel is clean, and your hands also. Rub off any extra chalk and blend it together. And all you're doing is making multiple swirls together. You can also do white next to it. It's like a blizzard. Make sure if you made a mess, anywhere you see that, you're going to want to add some more swirls. I can also have Hedwig sitting on snow. But just remember, you want to show value. So anywhere there's shadow, like where she's sitting, you're not going to be using just plain white. You'll have a shadow. Use your finger and blend. Then on top, we can add some highlights of snow. Blend. So the snow, I'm going to say, is going to go probably to about right there. So the lightest part will be up here, the darkest part here, because it's all shadow. It's reflecting the sky. Make sure you get through all those feathers. It's looking cute. I'm going to just add one last highlight with snow over here. And then I think I'm done. That's how you make a snowy owl. It's really cute. Hope you guys enjoyed.